During these difficult times, we understand how important it is to stay healthy and safe. With so many of us confined to our homes and not being able to work, we feel the financial burden more than ever. Many folks lost their jobs and businesses. Others were furloughed, and some are working from home at reduced pay. Keeping up with your bills is not easy under these circumstances. If you have credit card debt and cannot keep up with your monthly payments, we at Debt Fix Pros are here to help. Give us a call to see how we can reduce your interest rates and lower your monthly payments. Protect your credit and let us help you find a solution that fits your needs. We, your friends at Debt Fix Pros, are here to help. Let us take care of your credit card debt so you can focus on what is really important. Call for a free phone consultation at 800-919-6011. 800-919-6011. That's 800-919-6011. 800-919-6011. United we stand.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we go through the news and notes that happened across the country and also in Canada sometimes with the sports books and the sports betting industry. We're going to be talking state and national reports. We're going to be looking at state launches, other product launches. We got some legislation to talk about and a lot of deals again between sports betting operators and different industries.
There's always a lot of deals.
It's constant.
Well, we're getting, we have football now, so that's what they were all planning for, football season.
And we did have our first weekend in football, so actually it was kind of fun to watch. And let's start off. We just had Illinois and Delaware report their July numbers. I don't know what took Delaware so long.
Illinois is
July.
always late. They're always like 2 months behind everyone else.
Yeah, it's about 60 days, give or take. But
they want to be special.
Yes, they reported their numbers, and we now have July's top 10 all set
for
July
handle?
of 2021 for handle and revenue.
Okay, all right.
Jersey again took top spot for July in terms of sports betting handle, $578.7 million. Again, one of their first times under $600 million in the last several months here.
Yeah, but everyone's down, so.
Well, again, July is one of the slowest sports betting months in terms of the calendar. Nevada came in, still a big difference between New Jersey and Nevada, $409.9 million in terms of handle. Mm-hmm. Then there's another little bit of a gap between 2 and 3, Nevada and Illinois. Illinois, with their July handle, came in at $369.1 million for the month of July. So they took the number 3 spot.
Okay.
Pennsylvania rounded out 4 with $304 million. Then Michigan came in to be the number 5th spot at $206.3 million. Look at that difference. There's another $100 million tier between the top 4 and then the 5th spot. Michigan, like I said, $206.3 million was number 5. Indiana, $194.5. Colorado was number 7. Virginia came in about $20 million below Colorado with $162 million, give or take. Tennessee and then Iowa was the bottom, was the rounded out the top 10 there.
Slow making the top 10, huh?
Well,
Nice.
normally Iowa's a little higher too.
Well,
they have one of the better sports betting markets too.
Sure.
But again, slow time, and they were affected by it. In terms of revenue for July of 2021, top 10. New Jersey was just under $55 million in revenue. Illinois took the 2nd spot here.
Oh, okay.
37.6, and then Nevada was 3rd. They flipped.
All right. Okay.
33 and a quarter million. Not much difference between Illinois and Nevada, but just enough to make that difference. Then there's a huge drop off in revenue. Pennsylvania was number 4 with $19.86 million. That's about $14 million difference.
a lot of smart bettors in Pennsylvania, I guess. It's
you can look at it that way.
Revenue. It means there's a lot of. What were they in handle?
Pennsylvania
was number 4 in handle.
Pennsylvania was number 4 in handle with $304 million.
So a lot of bettors winning. I always take it to be that. I mean, the lower the revenue of the state means the higher the take from the bettors.
Well, you got to remember, Pennsylvania had a much lower handle than Nevada. Nevada had a $409.9 million handle. Pennsylvania had $100 million less. And so, that kind of makes sense. Indiana came in 5th with $17.53 million. Tennessee was 6th with 15. Michigan, 13.6. Again, Iowa rounded out the top 10 there, too, with $7.1 million. In terms of the national sports betting numbers, it was not a great month, but it was a good month again. National handle was $2.8 billion. Gross gaming revenue was $268.2 million. The adjusted gaming revenue was $238.4 million.
Well, July's a slow month.
Yeah.
July's a very slow.
Well, I like how some of these states...
I think these are good numbers for July.
Well, think about it.
Considering how slow July is.
Some of these states are just launching, so they've got a lot more promos being given out.
Yeah.
So, some of the... That's why I reported the GGR and the AGR. The adjust is you take out the promos.
I got to tell you, these last 2 weeks, you were talking about promos. I have never seen the promos that I've seen in the sports books for football season.
Well, again, it's...
Caesars is giving away jerseys.
It's a combination not just of football season, but also the new markets launching.
Sure,
and I have to admit, there is a hell of a lot more promos being offered for this football season than I've seen in previous seasons. The last 2 years, I really just... I'm shocked at the inundation of the marketing messages.
I like in the area we're in New Jersey, we get promos on the local teams. All the local teams win, and when they say local, they mean Philadelphia and New York teams. So that's always a big promo in New Jersey. The local parlays.
Yeah, Jets, like Giants, Eagles, bet on that kind of stuff. Again, it's a matter of marketing to your audience.
Jets, Giants, Eagles all win.
Yeah,
promo
exactly, and most times they don't win.
No,
not the last couple of years anyway. Before we get off the numbers, Oregon reported their August numbers, and there are 2 states we always focus on when we do the numbers reports. It's August. It's Oregon and Colorado.
Oh, wait a minute. If it's Oregon and Colorado, are you going to go into
your favorite sport?
Going into your table tennis thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Again, the table tennis crowd made their voices heard because table tennis was 6th in the state in terms of handle.
It's always 5th or 6th, especially in Colorado.
Well, Oregon is kind of interesting because...
I got to get into that. I mean, I got to... Maybe I'm missing something here.
I just like the fact that they break it down in Oregon. They tell you the average size of the bet, the number of bets, all that stuff when they do their reporting. So for table tennis, they were 6th with handle of $871,000. The average bet was $67, and the win rate was 1.57. So they're not winning a lot, but they're betting on it.
Hey,
So,
what I saw in table tennis, maybe if the production value was a little better on the one I saw anyway, because I didn't see the players. I saw the table and I saw paddles and the ball being hit back and forth. That's basically what I saw. Maybe if there was more production value in it. I'm sure there is.
You want splashy graphics. You want cool music. You don't want to hear the guys grunting as they hit the ping pong balls.
Give me an announcer with some background stories. There's no rivalries in table tennis.
So you want to be entertained as you're betting.
Yeah, well, sure, of course.
In terms of year-to-date for table tennis in Oregon, they were the 7th most bet on sport.
Okay.
A handle of $7.7 million and a revenue of $515,000, win rate of 6.7% for the year-to-date.
Yeah.
Number of bets, 2,387 bets.
Wow.
Average bet size of $58. It's very interesting to me the table tennis market in this country.
Every sport book has it. I mean, recently in New Jersey, Barstool launched, and I took a look at Barstool, and they have table tennis. So,
well, again,
everyone has it. So.
It's a sport I don't know too much about, and again, it's something new.
Yeah.
So, I'm just waiting for sports like pickleball to get in there and some of these other. I haven't tried betting on cornhole yet either.
I've never even looked in New Jersey. Can you bet on cornhole?
I don't think cornhole is approved in New Jersey. I know certain states have added it. I know Indiana added it.
See, that's something I enjoyed watching. I saw it on ESPN, and I was kind of captivated by it. I actually liked it.
I remember I was a couch potato one morning, and I caught cornhole followed by axe throwing on ESPN.
Oh, I got you beat. I did cornhole, and I think a little later on in the day, I know I'm getting the name of this sport wrong. It was almost like Frisbee golf. These guys with these...
That's disc golf.
Disc golf. Okay, I almost got it close. But, I was watching disc golf.
As opposed to ultimate disc, which is the football-style Frisbee.
All right.
I got to watch that because they just did another deal. They got the DraftKings going on with that.
Okay.
They got the game of the week kind of thing with them.
All right.
So I actually got to watch that because it looks like a kind of an interesting melding of Frisbee and football.
All right, I'll check it out.
Got two sports betting surveys to talk about. We talked a little bit about
earlier today. Yeah.
The American Gaming Association releases their annual football survey kind of thing.
Okay.
We talked earlier in the show with about the Pickswise sports betting
Yes.
survey. But American Gaming Association, besides predicting the record amount of money being bet on the NFL this year, they're expecting about 45.2 million Americans to bet on the NFL this season. That's 36% higher than the season in 2020.
Well, more states are sports betting now. So.
We have 26 now.
Yep.
Because of the 3-state launch on opening day for the NFL. There was kind of an interesting little bit of the survey we didn't talk about yet. 44% of Americans consider that the addition of in-venue sportsbooks will add to the thrill. It will make it more worthwhile to visit a sports game live.
Oh, absolutely, I think.
I thought that number would be a little bit higher.
Well,
44%?
I think it's going to be higher, probably. But, it is such a great thing to actually be able to bet and actually watch the game live at the same time. So it's absolutely interesting.
Well, this number actually made sense. Of the NFL fans they surveyed for that same question, 63% claimed that the in-venue sports books will add to going to the game.
Absolutely.
So kind of be interesting to watch. 37% of the NFL fans confirmed they are going to engage in wagering this season. So...
We'll talk about watching the game live and being able to bet on it, which you probably could do anyway because of your phone and your apps that are available. But, the price of tickets and going to a game is very expensive. Can you imagine winning all that money back at the sportsbook at the venue?
And the concessions?
No.
You actually hit a huge bet. You're probably breaking even.
Yeah.
That's not even to mention the parking fees now. For an NFL game, I know the when you go to like a Jets game, you got to pay for the ticket, but you also got to pay for the parking license.
Sure.
At some point, some days it's 50, some days it's higher, depending on the game and the crowd. So, winning a huge bet at a game could actually make your day break even, if not come out ahead a little bit. Especially if you buy some of the products, apparel and stuff like that.
I would be very interested to see. Say if you are a fan of not a very good team. I mean, you're at the venue, you have your sports team jersey on. Would you go and place a bet against your favorite team in their venue if it was a smart bet? I'm curious to see how many people would admit to doing that.
Okay, if I went to a Jets game, I'm a Jets fan, everyone knows that. I would bet against the Jets.
Okay.
If the price was right. And also, depending on what the in-game betting options were, too.
Sure, absolutely.
If I'm looking at,
But I would prefer to do that
at home,
on my app at the game instead of making a big deal about betting against my own team in their home.
See, I have to admit, that's a question I haven't seen a survey ask. How comfortable are you betting against your team
in the venue
sportsbook?
Yeah, right.
We will probably find out after this year because they haven't had these yet. This is probably one of the first years you're going to see some in-venue.
Very interested.
That's an actual interesting question that I never really thought about.
They keep track of that.
But again, is the sports betting crowd different than the actual fans out there in the stands? I mean, do they take it? Do the other sports bettors take it personally? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, sports betting is a business to a lot of these people.
I bet you at the venues there's going to be a lot of betting with your heart instead of your head, which is always a bad idea.
Yes,
so,
but again, it's one of those
caught
things.
Up in the moment kind of thing. So.
But again, I hope that's a survey question after the end of the season.
Yeah.
We have another sports betting survey from a firm called Jefferies. They took a look at the overall sports betting market in terms of what's out there in terms of tech as well as betting options. They had some interesting numbers. Ease of use has become the most important factor when you're considering where you're sports betting.
Absolutely. I mean, I have some sport betting apps on my phone. It looks like the computer screen at NASA. It's really confusing. I like the ones. The best and easiest one to use, in my opinion, is Unibet. They give you the names of the teams, the numbers of the teams, and it's all laid out easy so you can read it. There are other books I'm not going to name that they're really complicated and really they're too busy on the screen.
You just went against the entire findings.
Really? Oh, they didn't ask me about it.
The people surveyed felt that DraftKings and FanDuel were the top of the market in ease of use.
Yeah, they are very good. They're very easy to use. Yeah.
I don't know.
Their layout is easy. When you say ease of use, it's their layout.
See, I also find different colors.
No colors.
I mean, I look at like PointsBet. For me, PointsBet is the most easy one to use for me because I like the color scheme. It's easier on my eyes, the black with the white print and some red splashes here and there. But again, Unibet's kind of drab in terms of color, but that's their color scheme.
But look, it's easy to lay. I don't need any bells and whistles, and just give me the names and the numbers and in an easy to read screen. And I agree, FanDuel is the same way. I don't know DraftKings. I'm not on DraftKings.
No, I'm not on DraftKings either.
But FanDuel is very good because the way it's laid out, it's easy to read.
Again, I think there's an overall aesthetic to a lot of different sites. And again, layout's one thing for me, but I think, again, it's a layout plus aesthetic to me.
For me, less stuff going on in the screen.
I hate the pop-ups.
On the screen.
I hate the pop-ups.
Well, that's what happens.
That's one of those things where...
But the less stuff going on screen is better for me.
And going over to some of the other findings, and these are no-brainers here, 58%. They said they intended to bet on the NFL within the next 12 months, with college football being the third most popular, 28%. The NBA was second with 33%. So NBA betting is pro football, NBA, college football.
For me, NBA is going to be a little more challenging this year because, last year everyone started to say, I guess the regular season doesn't mean too much for these teams, and I'm getting the impression that it doesn't. I mean, there were statements from a lot of books that now when they're doing their season totals, they have to take into account load management. So that makes it a little more challenging for bettors to determine. You really have to pay attention to who's playing that night or who's not playing next week and things like that. So
I have to admit,
really keep an eye out on the injury reports and the lineups.
I have totally changed the way I bet the NBA.
Yeah, because
I don't do parlays. I don't do the games. I do the single game parlays now, the in game stuff. I don't do, like for baseball, I do the team parlays, and for football, same thing. And football, I do the games as well as baseball. Basketball, I don't do that anymore. I don't do the individual games. I can't do that.
I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. Because like they said, regular season, it doesn't mean that much to teams anymore, especially if they jump out to an early lead in the for their records. So got to keep an eye on that.
Last little bit for this sports betting survey, 59% of all respondents said they would increase their sports wagering budget if in-play options were more available.
Really?
A lot of states don't have in-play wagering.
I know in New Jersey they have a lot of in-play options.
Well, New Jersey's leading the pack with a lot of things. I know certain states, other sports books are just starting to add the in-game wagering.
Speaking of in-play, I made a lot of money on the, I think it was the Tampa Bay Rays against the Boston Red Sox last week. Boston jumped out to a 7-1 7-1 lead. Rays got back to 7-5, and that's when I pulled the trigger on the bet on the Rays, and I won some money there.
Well, moving over to some launches. We did the 3-state launch in our 5th exit last week. A couple books launched as well. Barstool launched in Tennessee, and also in Colorado. They got 2 new books: the Sports Illustrated Sportsbook, the mobile version of
which
it
I'm
launched.
very interested in looking at.
Well, they're coming to New Jersey soon.
Good.
And also MaximBet launched in Colorado. So
okay.
kind of interesting that the Sports Illustrated Sportsbook launched, and it launched more as the website first, and then the app came out. Usually it's the app first sometimes with this stuff, especially adding to the market. I think now Colorado has 25 or 26 online books.
Yeah, no, they're beating the hell out of New Jersey when it comes to online books. I think online books in New Jersey, was it 21 now?
21 with Superbook.
21, yeah, Superbook just went live last week.
Well, we also we talked about Connecticut with their legislation. They got their approval for sports betting from the compact. The gaming compacts were approved by the Department of Interior the night of the NFL opener.
Okay.
And so they're looking at an October launch for all their sports betting industry as well as their online gaming industry too. So kind of be interesting to watch that. I'm curious to see, I saw a little blurb in the news that they're also going to be making a little history with the first sports bar in the Northeast having a book in it. Valentine's, the former Mets GM. Bobby Valentine. There you go. I knew one of us would hit it at some point. Got a couple deals to announce. Fubo Gaming. Fubo's been making some news all over the country with some launches and licensing. They have their first NFL sponsorship with the New York Jets.
Wow, okay.
I can't wait to go to a Jets game now to see this lounge that they're building.
Now, will they have commercials during Jets games? Or
you're going to see Fubo
advertised
in the park and all that stuff.
All right.
But they're having a mobile sports betting lounge in the stadium.
Great.
So basically, you know what? I think it was William Hill did it with the Devils.
Yep.
Or I guess Caesars Sports now.
I guess it's Caesars now, yeah.
They're going to do the same thing for the Jets games. I don't know if it's going to be open year-round, though. That'll be interesting to see if they keep that open.
I don't know.
I mean, I know that it's when the Jets aren't there, the Giants are usually there. So I don't know exactly how that's going to trade off. I'm waiting for a book to do it with both teams so they have both sets covered. They can stay open 16 games instead of 8.
Well, a lot of states don't have 2 football teams or things like that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I'm wondering if the Jets and Giants are going to combine in a deal at some point.
Who knows?
Because it kind of makes sense for them to start looking at doing that. But again, California's the only other team that could probably do something like that. They got 4 or 5 teams in terms of football. So
but none of them are in the same
share a stadium.
Yeah.
So again, I'm curious to see what it is. VSiN got a content distribution deal with YouTube TV. They are part of the YouTube TV Sports Plus add-on package.
Now,
for
can I watch
$10.99 a month?
So I can't watch VSiN on YouTube for free?
No.
Okay.
You have to get the YouTube Sports package.
Okay.
Caesars Entertainment, we're going back to football, did a deal with the Baltimore Ravens, not just for a Caesars Sportsbook deal, but also for the Horseshoe Casino, which was already a sponsor of the Ravens. They have now expanded that, and they're going to be doing a lot more. It's going to be Caesars Sportsbook naming rights throughout the club level of M&T Bank Stadium. They're not getting the stadium rights; they're getting a level.
Okay.
They're going to be doing animated displays.
I didn't even know you can do a level. I didn't know you
can do
could,
anything.
I didn't know you can split it up into stadium levels.
Let me tell you something.
Interesting.
The way the NFL operates, you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah, I guess you can carve out anything.
So it'd be kind of interesting to see that because there was a lot of Ravens branding in the Horseshoe Caesars, Horseshoe Baltimore in Maryland there. So there's going to be a lot more stuff. They're going to be doing an entertainment district. Between the parties are going to be building something like that between the stadium and the casino because they're right near each other. BetMGM announced a partnership to launch BetMGM gift cards. You can basically fund your sports betting account with these gift cards, and you can buy them at over 6,000 locations across the United States.
It's a great idea. We're coming up on the holiday season, believe it or not. And,
here's a gift card. Go gamble.
Hey, if people are giving gift cards,
that's kind of what you want. Especially if you know the person bets.
Absolutely. I mean, that's, I see commercials around with giving lottery tickets for birthday gifts or, Christmas gifts and things like that. So why not do, sportbook gifts? Two
other deals to announce before we get out of here for the week. Elias Sports Bureau, one of the best stat keepers around, have now launched the Elias Game Plan.
Oh, what's that?
It's a mobile app where you can actually hook into data specific to games you want to watch. Basically, any kind of informational statistic you want on games, players, will be available through this app. And
wow.
You have to go to the Elias Sports Bureau's website and do this.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can do it through an app. And it's available for Google, for Android and Apple. People take a look at it. So I don't know exactly if there's a pricing plan attached to it.
I was going to ask that. Is that free?
I could not find information on how much it would be if there is a price attached to it. I think you have to get into the app first.
Okay. I'll check that out.
Be aware of that just in case. But Elias Sports Bureau, I would trust them in a heartbeat.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And last but not least, we got an interesting game that was is being released by the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Minnesota Vikings did a deal with this company called Sharp Link Gaming.
Okay.
For a fantasy online pass or play game. Now, it's not a predictive game per se. It is a predictive game in terms of how this is played once you start playing. But the way it's set up, players get 3 cards. It's a card game, basically.
Oh, really? Okay.
And this is where the pass or play comes in. You get 3 cards. The first one is dealt. If you don't like that card, you can pass. If you like that card, you play it, and you get your points based upon what that card tells you. It's whether it's going to be a quarterback rating, whether it's going to be receivers or whatever.
Oh, okay. All right.
Then if you pass, you get the next card.
All right. I see. I wasn't following you because I thought when you said you get a card, I thought it was an actual playing card.
No, it's online.
Well, I know it's online, but an actual suit of a playing card. I didn't know what you were going for, but no, I understand that now.
You see how some of these other fantasy sites have it, where you get you compare players one against each other, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Sort of like that. And then you pass or play, and then you play for rewards, various prizes. You get, one of the sponsors of it is the Mystic Lake Casino. So there are some prizes involving that casino. There's prizes involving apparel, all different things. But there's plenty of stuff to talk about that we did not hit this week, and we're going to have to end it here. So if you want to see all the other news stories that we did not touch, as always, there's a print version on TurnpikeSportsRadio.com. Click on the blog button, and you'll see the full Turnpike Sports book report in print form on the blog about maybe an hour or so after this airs.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.